When last we saw Dante and Virgil at the end of Canto 18, they were slugging their way through the 8th circle of hell. Wait, the 8th circle? There are only 9 circles altogether, and we have 16 cantos left. I know, stay with me. In Canto 18, we entered the 8th circle of hell. But as this circle was reserved for some of the worst sinners, it was also enormous and made up of 10 increasingly terrifying trenches. We're into the 3rd trench when Canto 19 picks up. The 3rd trench is full of simonists, or people who sell sacred things for money. Remember that video I showed about the app that absolved sins for cash? Same idea. These sinners are stuck head down in holes in the ground, while fire burns their feet. Dante meets a pope there, who mistakes him for another pope. Dante gets mad and yells at the pope. Not a lot of faith in the church right there. 4th trench, and this one has my favorite punishment in all of the Inferno. Here, souls walk around with their heads twisted fully backwards, so they have to walk backwards to see where they are going. These people tried to see too far ahead. They wanted to predict the future and figure out God's plan. Now, they can only look backwards. Despite having just been angry with the Pope, Dante pities these sinners and begins to cry. Virgil reminds him that torture equals punishment equals justice. Someone should put that on a t-shirt. 5th trench, boiling hot pitch, little devils tossing sinners who traded public office for money into the bubbling pitch. This sort of sounds like what we think of when we think of hell. The devils try to stop Dante, Virgil is not having any of it, and our boys proceed under the protection of a small group of demons. Dante is a bit unnerved by these demons, but he's also curious of the souls trying to escape from the boiling liquid. The devils just keep forcing them back until one escapes. Dante, like any true Italian would, keeps asking the guy if he knows any Italians, but the demons don't really care about the land of olive oil and mozzarella, and tear the guy apart. He screams that he can introduce Dante to several Italians if the devils stop torturing him for just one moment. They stop long enough to debate if the soul is trying to trick them, and while they do so, he escapes their torments for the torture of the pitch. Some demons try and chase him, but fall into the pitch themselves. Ha ha, what a comedy. Our duo loses the devils, but too quickly find themselves pursued. They rush to the 6th trench, where the devils cannot go. In the 6th trench, they meet hypocrites, who are weighed down by heavy cloaks. 7th trench, naked souls with their hands bound by serpents, being bitten by lizards. The souls, not the serpents. Here are thieves. One dude even robbed a church. Where do you think he would end up? In a very strange story, this might be the strangest of parts. There are worms and serpents and lizards and a worm that absorbs a lizard, and just read it if you want. It's so bonkers that Dante starts by saying, you might not believe it. 8th trench, Dante sees all these small moving fires. He says they remind him of fireflies. Virgil tells him they are tortured souls eternally burning. Cute. These people use trickery to get what they want, which is sort of like everyone in the 8th circle, but who am I to judge? Still in the 8th trench, Dante meets a guy who tells them that they are never, ever getting out of there. Starting to feel that way, eh? 9th trench, Dante is really starting to get down. This trench has some of the worst things he's ever seen. Body parts everywhere, including at least one body that is split down the middle so that you can see the insides. These are the sinners who spread social discord. They push people apart, so their punishment is to be literally torn apart here. Dante also runs into Muhammad. Yeah, that Muhammad. You can't draw him, but you can put him in hell apparently. Dante and Virgil are looking down into the 10th trench, but it is so dark and horrifying that they can't see anything. Even so, the screams that rise up from it are so horrible that Dante has to cover his ears. Here the souls all suffer from horrible, painful, debilitating diseases. They are falsifiers. The souls are packed thick, lying in heaps or crawling around the crowded ground. They tear at their own skin as the blisters, scabs, and lesions are so painful and itchy. And more falsifiers and counterfeiters. They argue with each other, and Dante watches them almost as entertainment in his otherwise horrible journey. Virgil tells him if he doesn't hurry up, he'll find himself in a fight of his own. Virgil is in a rush now, and Dante is stuck in the dark. They encounter a series of giants stuck in the ground, but one giant, Antaeus, is free. Virgil convinces Antaeus to help them. In exchange, Dante will spread the fame of his name back in the land of the living. Antaeus picks up Dante and Virgil and swiftly moves them along, placing them down into the ninth and final circle of hell. Finally, the ninth circle of hell. Things are about to get crazy. But just like Antaeus, this is where I leave you.